ॐ नमो भगवते श्री अरुणाचल रमणाय। 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 ॐ नमो भगवते श्री अरुणाचल रमणाय।
Fire of Arunachala will give you the same benefits as it gave to others in last thousands and thousands of years, including Bhagavan's devotees and all, you know. If you see, Bhagavan actually is quite a latest addition to Arunachala devotees. So many, you know, the caves where he lived, you know, Virupaksha cave. So there was, I think, someone by that name who was doing sadhana there before, long time back. Anyone has any questions or anything to tell or whatever? Nilakantanji, we can start with some shloka.
Just a thought of changing the whole thing and telling one Tamil song, Tamil this one of Ramana, instead of always doing in Sanskrit.
Yeah, definitely. But then you have to explain us the meaning at the end.
Oh, sure. For Sanskrit also I do, like the same way I do. Chadavudal nanenad Sattvic udiyad idayil udal alavai nanendru udikum ide chit jada granthi bandam jeevan nutpamai nutpame ahandai it samsaramum manamum endren jadavudal nanenad. This body which is inert will never say I, because it is inert. Sattvic udiyad, Sattanchit is always there. No question of rising up or falling down. But in between of the size of the body, something rises up. And that is called Chit Jada Granthi, not of Jada and Chit. That we call as Jiva, that we call as Ahankar, that we call as mind, that we call as Bandha. All these names are given. So very clear, Sat cannot have any birth, and the body is inert. In between something comes and ties up. Please inquire into what is that. This is in Shaddarshanam, Ulladinarpadu, verse 24. In Sanskrit also it's very nice. Some other day I will do it in Sanskrit. This is the crux of his teaching, so to say. Very clearly he mentions that this body is inert. Why to bother about it? Why to give any importance to it? And the Satchit is always there. Instead of that, something comes in between and mesmerizes us. Please inquire, that will vanish. Very simple, straight to the point. That's all.
Thank you so much. I just want to add on to what Nilakantanji has just read and said. One thing is 100% true. Till you identify with this body, you cannot find the God within. This is 100%. Don't take it just like I'm just saying to you just because I have to say something. But I am giving you like a warning. If you want to keep this body, identification with this body, and then you want to know God, you will never ever succeed. You can take millions of births, you will never succeed. How to succeed? When you have complete disidentification with body. Now, when I say body, don't take it as body, because for me, body means panchakoshas, 5 sheaths. 5 sheaths means your intellect, your mind, your emotions, your body, everything. Everything inclusive is these different sheaths. Only one sheath you see this body as a body form, but then others are also there which are invisible, or you can feel them, or they are like different instruments which you use when you interact with anyone. So until you detach from all these instruments, not just the body, but mind, intellect, your emotions, your feelings, your sensations, everything, unless you detach, like when your own experiential, you know that none of this is you, then what is left is that you can call God, you can call self, you can call awareness, consciousness, whatever it is then you are that. But it will never ever happen that you enjoy all the attachment to the body and then you know God. It has never ever happened with even one single person in this world, ever. So this is the truth. If you are comfortable with this identification, then all the talks are intellectual talks, and I think wastage of time. Better to spend this time in watching a movie or playing snooker or doing something else. Like it's entertainment then, because it is pure entertainment, reading scriptures and books, doing mantras and japas. If unless you focus on what Bhagavan says is this ahem, this ahankar, this ego, this entity which thinks it is this body mind, when you watch it and watch it with all your attention there, when you look who is this I, then you are on a journey. Then that I will disappear because of your constant vigilance, because it has no power of its own. It's a mistaken identity. That consciousness starts thinking by whatever reason that it is body-mind complex. Until it keeps thinking that, it will never ever be able to realize its true self, because it is like flipping the same thing. If you're thinking your body mind, you're thinking body mind. But the moment you turn 180 degrees and you look inward and you look into this awareness, which has nothing to do with body mind actually, it is only using it as an instrument. All the story which you think you are, which makes you suffer, is not you. It is the story of this body mind complex. Who is born? Are you born? Body is born. Who will die? Body will die. Who has all the sufferings, health issues, pain, whatever it is? Body. Who has all the relations in this world? Body. Who thinks? Body. Who feels? Body. Who suffers in mind? Who has attachment, desires? Body. You are never ever involved in anything. You're always this pure awareness, always the same. You have never ever changed for even a fraction of a second. You have never taken this role. So the whole thing is case of mistaken identity with the body. Until this is there, you can never be free. Until this is there, there'll be no God or self-realization. So remember this. This is the only thing you have to do. The moment your identification with the body drops, the real is already there. So curtain has to fall. And constant vigilance, watching your thoughts, paying attention to the feelings, to the body, and to the one who owns everything, watching that, who reacts, who acts, who criticizes, who judges. Watch this entity. With your intense watching and observation, that entity dissolves. So this knot, Hridaya Granthi, the one which is binding you to the body mind, that dissolves. Because that is fake. That is only conditioning. Because unless you do that, all exercises, going to Ramana ashram and doing and japa or whatever, whichever religion, whatever spiritual practice you are doing, they are not going to bring the real fruit of knowing yourself. So you have to first give up this identity, and then rest will happen. So the grace, we are covering that grace by wrong identification. And this is very, very easy. I should say it is the simplest thing you can do. I'll tell you, the moment when you realize that you are that pure self, you will laugh on yourself that how come it has taken so long? Because there is no obstacle in it. As Bhagavan always used to say about the counting, because we never count ourselves, we always starts with the body. If you go one step back, maybe you might go into the mind and then further to maybe this I amness, but then go further. Now to go that further, you have to finish this I amness. So pay your attention to that awareness where nothing is involved. So all this disturbance, I should say, of the body-mind complex is going on, but try to hold on to the one which is uninvolved. I'll give you a very simple exercise which you can do anytime. Do it when you're full of energy, maybe early morning, or maybe when, and don't do it for more than maybe 2-3 minutes, but sit with your own self only, which means that you are not doing anything and you are just sitting and you are not doing any task intentionally. And then remember intensely that whatever around you has nothing to do with you. The body through which you are seeing everything has nothing to do with you. Mind, which might be producing some thoughts at that moment, has nothing to do with you. This I amness feeling has nothing to do with you. Emotions or sensations in the body, nothing to do with you. And whatever is judging the whole scene has nothing to do with you. Recede from everything. Live just for 3 minutes. Stay with yourself. Do it with full intention, pure intention, full energy. And you will notice how powerful this remembrance and this attention is. You will find yourself receding from all this bundle. Only for 2-3 minutes. You just have to be very intense with this exercise. It's not even an exercise. I'm calling it an exercise because when all the time we are in the body-mind complex, then it becomes an exercise to recede. But that's what we are. When you stay there, even for 2 minutes, you try to do it. And when you do it honestly with sincere devotion, you can even do a prayer for that absolute to show what you are and stay there. And then don't think about it or don't make more intentions or anything. Just stay like that. But to explain you, I'm saying that don't think about all these things around you or inside you. And then see what happens. Because you also have to try to be there and you have to show interest to be that and to be aware of that. When you pay attention to that, what you are, a beautiful thing happens. Everything starts receding from you. You start feeling that gap between you and these gadgets, what you're using. And when you keep paying attention to that thing quite intensely, then one day this practice dissolves, because this is your natural state. Practice stays till your interest or till your conditioning stays. So to decondition yourself, you have to pay attention. Otherwise, why would you have to pay attention to know that you are a human being, or you are a man or a woman, or whatever your name? We know that. We don't keep remembering our name all the time. As soon as, even in deep sleep, someone calls your name, you remember, because we have learned this way. But if you start learning about this awareness by constant practice, how many times people have called by your name? Thousands, millions of times. And now no one can fool you if they call by some other name. Here, how many times have you attempted to do what I am telling you? Never. Then how can you think that you can decondition yourself? This society, this world has conditioned you into a name and a form. Now I'm telling you, you are not that name and form. How would you, what you need to do? If you understand and grasp and you can detach without practice, yes, it is possible for some people. But if it's not happening, then you have to do something to stay detached from name and form. More you practice, more you pay attention, you are receding each moment from that, to an extent that it will be hard for you to remember anything, relationships, or whatever we have put a lot of energy in our day to day. Like unnecessary things will just start disappearing, which are personal, will start disappearing from your mind. And the mind will become very impartial, neutral. Because at the moment it is working for an individual. So it has individuality. But when you start receding, there's nothing else for mind to do except to be still. Because there's no work to be done. There's no work. And there's all free time. So it depends where you are putting your energy into. I'll give you a very, I don't know whether it's a good example, but it just came to me that one of these guys who is a yoga professor in India, and because in India they were promoting yoga on a big scale for last few years. So he goes to Prime Minister office and he travels to Delhi, and where, he has been given accommodation in Prime Minister office just as courtesy, so he can stay there, And he used to visit that place in the past, let's say 15 years back, when there was different people who were ruling. And he said they were like a staff of 50 people there who were always busy in doing things, and there were so many things happening. It was such a busy place. Now he goes, there's no work. And staff is decreased from 50 to, he said, 10 people. But there's no work. And he asked what change the new government has made. He said all the work done in this office was people who were asking to get a promotion, to get a job, to get even their kids to a school, like getting approach and getting some push and pull. And they were busy with those applications dealing. Now he said, we just put all those in a shredder, all those applications, because this is not the job of PM office, You go your local, we don't have to do. He said there's no work. So they got rid of the staff. Depends what you are giving work to the mind. 99% of the work what we give to the mind is exactly like this PM office, which was doing all these stupid jobs, which was not a job of that high awareness, Is the prime minister office is to get someone's kid into a kindergarten, or to get a gas cylinder, or to stop their transfer, or to get a promotion? That's what was happening. And there must be some give and take also. I'm not indulging into all those, but he said it was completely stopped, so there's no work. It depends what you want to do with your mind. The moment the individuality disappears, the mind is completely at peace and relaxed, because there's nothing else to do. This me, mine, I, you, it all disappears. So you can't even talk to people because there's nothing left to talk. No gossip left. No rumination. No daydreaming. What is daydreaming? I will do this, then I'll go there, and then he will like me, she dislikes me. Whatever the story of this body mind keeps going all the time, constant in the mind. When you start paying attention to that pure awareness, you disidentify with everything, including your mind. So that source, that supreme power, is not giving any work to the mind. And when there's no work to the mind, it is only peace is left, bliss is left. And you are the best judge. You don't have to look what others are doing or not doing in their life. It is none of your business. They are images in your own consciousness. If you are worried about what others are doing, again, you and me is there. See from that pure presence whatever is happening around you. And don't worry about what is happening around you. Happening inside you, is especially in your mind, in the form of thoughts. Thoughts about, should I do this? Should I do that? All this ifs and buts and poor decision making and doing this. Actually, that all is useless task. Because that is all for that individual. He's living a separate life then as separate from the whole cosmos. So you don't have to do anything actually. And I'll tell you, the more you recede from this individuality, less things will bother you. Nothing will bother you. There will be time when nothing bothers you. That what is good, what is bad, what is right, what is wrong, should we do this way or that way? All ways are right. Nothing is right or wrong. Because you stay in that uninvolved awareness all the time. Uninvolved, it's not a joke. It's just understand, it is big difference. The moment you move from mind, body, you are uninvolved. When you are uninvolved, how does anything matters? You can still have some taste about food and things, which is just small stuff, which is not going to create any mental impressions on your mind. But you don't feel that from morning till evening we sleep, whatever the mind thinks, it is about individual. You are the reference point, and then it compares everything, whatever is good or bad for you as an individual. That is the level of ego level things. But moment you start receding away from that, there is no work to the mind. And when there is no work to the mind, what is left is peace, stillness. Because there are no thoughts, there is just emptiness. And this emptiness is so addictive. The more you are receding away from the mind-body complex, more you are getting into the pull of that awareness, which actually is helping you to establish yourself there. So there will be this struggle initially, and then you have to do something about it, just to know that when you disentangle yourself from all the mind and thoughts and about your individuality, a beautiful thing will happen, that peace dawns on you and you feel so contented because you are not involved. Actually, you are not involved. Actually, none of us are involved in anything. It's a play of a Maya which is going on a already written script. But somehow this ahem, this ahankar, this ego arises in this mixture of consciousness and unconsciousness, in sentient and insentient, and it thinks that it is doing it. Doership comes into play, and that is the cause of suffering. When you stay as self, as awareness, as uninvolved awareness, you know, the most beautiful thing is that you are in peace. You are not in pieces. In mind, we are fractionated in so many things. You are in peace. You are in bliss. You have a lot of silence because mind is not operating here at all. Because mind has no task except to serve an individual. When there's no individual, the mind has nothing to do. So you don't bother about how to control your thoughts and mindfulness and all. Don't worry. You stay as pure awareness, pure presence. And then mind will disappear on its own and you will be contented. Now, what happens to the world around you? Things don't disappear. The images will be there, beings will be there, objects will be there, things will be there. But you have nothing to take from anything because there is no individual who is trying to grab things. No greed is there. So what is left is love. And what love does is only gives. It doesn't take anything. So you will be giving to individuals or whatever. You can't take. So it's giving. And giving is so beautiful. Giving without any reason, without any motive. So in that saintliness of your own contentment and unconditional love, you are just a giver, even if you don't want. Like it's the nature of that pure awareness. And then another beautiful thing happens on the other absolute level. It has so much of gratitude for its own self. It's a paradox, but it is for that absolute, for which has created this infinite universe. So much of gratitude and respect and love and devotion. And it only wants to love that, stay in that, and praise that. You can call it praise self, praise awareness, praise Lord, praise God, whatever. Someone might say God, someone might say it's just self. But still, everyone will appreciate who is there and love it and show its respect to. So how the whole dynamics have changed. As in a body form, you are contented and peaceful, and you are giving and compassionate, and on that level, you are absorbed and you're loving, and you're becoming a devotee of that pure self or awareness or God. Now, this comes from whichever background you are moving into this awareness. If you're moving as a devotee, then you will always praise God. You might just say it as a Brahman. If you're coming from Advaita, if you're coming from, let's say, Christianity, you might say Jesus, your Father, that absolute. You can say Prophet Muhammad. Whatever, wherever your background is, you can name it in any form, doesn't matter. So this change which happens on three levels: how you interact with the world, how you feel inside, and how you connect with that absolute. And this change is always same for any person who has moved into pure self in any part of the world, coming from any religion, any spirituality or no religion. And whatever way they have reached there, whatever method or practice, or has happened accidentally by that grace, it is the same. There is no difference at that level. The terms people might be using can be different, the way they express it might be different, but it is exactly the same. And it does not matter whether you realize today or you have realized 10,000 years back or after 10,000 years. Because that awareness is all pervading all the time, eternal, everywhere. It is not restricted to any particular religion or spiritual group. Anyone can tap into it who is interested. Because it is you. But to tap into it, you have to have interest in it. And then you have to practice something, some method, which we call as sadhana, and we call the practicer as sadhak. Because what sadhana means is you keep practicing. How to put it into English, I can't make you understand. But sadh means you keep practicing it so you become solid in it. That's what sadhana is. And the person who is doing it is sadhak. You can call it practitioner maybe. But a practitioner who is real practitioner who is doing it till it finishes. I have not come across any guru or teacher who has said, do it from morning till you go to bed. Actually, Bhagavan never used this term, but I picked up this is what he meant to say when he was saying it's like pouring of oil or flow of a river. What he's saying, keep doing. And then someone has also asked him, what about at night? He said, don't worry when you're sleeping, but do it in daytime. That's more than enough. If you see so many religions and spiritual groups, they say, do it for 5 minutes, 2 hours, 3 hours, do it on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. That's nonsense. It will take ages or may never happen, because what you are doing most of the time will happen to you. If you are staying in mind-body complex for 18 hours and doing practice only for 6 hours, then you will be into mind. Just a common sense approach. Just think. Just a common...
There is a famous saying in Sanskrit, I translate in English. Until you sleep, until you die, this continues. And until you sleep every day, until you die, you are so attentive to that. Beautiful. I don't want to put it in Sanskrit, but that's the meaning, because it's a bit long sentence. Simple thing is, until you sleep, until you die, you are so alert.
Yeah, so I completely agree. And look, you don't have to agree with me because I'm nothing, but I'm telling you what Bhagavan used to say. And this is only I understood, that this practice ends when you are completely established firmly. Even then you continue practice. Practice will leave you, because once you are there, then the practice will go away. You don't have to worry about practice. But yes, be vigilant, be aware. As Bhagavan used to say, till the last thought is there, and nip on the bud. As soon as the eye arises, just slash it. But I am also telling very simple thing, which I think for Bhagavan it was the second best thing, which to me really appealed, which is self-attention. Just paying attention to the awareness. Being just in pure presence and just watching things unfolding. And if a thought comes and it wants to involve you in what is happening, just watch it. You know, the same type of thought might come 100 times. Every time you can say no to it. And what will happen is, it will never come back again. You have to be firm. You have to be vigilant. You need a lot of energy in this. This thing is, I'll tell you, spirituality is not a game of lazy people. If people think it is a good thing in old age, just lie down and just take some japa and spirituality. It's not. It is a hard task. If it is not for weak-minded people, and you have to have focus there. You can't take it as 1 hour of job. No, it's a full-time job, lifetime job, till you finish. As Neela Kantanji was saying, till you sleep or till you are dead. But I want to add one more thing to it. When you're so intensely in it, work continues even in your sleep. You become so expert in awareness, then when the dream comes, even in dream, you are aware of the dream. Because it is not different from this dream. Again, there are characters, images, you have a body, form, and you're interacting, and you stay as awareness. This comes when you are so much intensely throughout the day. And then comes the deep sleep. And when the deep sleep comes, then you are what you are. And then the day, you open your eyes and the day starts again, and then again you pay attention. Believe me or not, if you are sincere and if you practice this way, in no time, you don't have to practice anything and it will be your natural state. In no time. For me, no time is maybe even if it happens within a year, I think it's not bad. Because some religions say that it takes 7 births. Even if you can accomplish this in 1 year, I think it's not a bad deal. And who knows, maybe it might take you only 3 days, but you have to be intense. How early it happens is that grace of that awareness within who reveals you. But then that awareness would be knowing how much longing you have to be there. It does not see where you come from, what is your background, what is your job, how much you are literate. It does not look for anything except your own interest. And how awareness knows your interest? By how much you are paying attention to that. That's all. How much you are eager to know. You say you want to realize God, and then whole day you spend in sensory indulgence, watching movie and other things, and then looking into things, and then buying shares, and then doing this, and hardly remember what awareness is, and then early morning again say, I need God realization. This is fake prayer, What have you done? But if you are sincere, because here the whole game is within you. If you understand you are that self and you have to abide in self, means that you have to detach from the body-mind complex. And when I say attention, self-attention, attention to awareness, this is because our attention is always in the external world. You are always in the mind. The moment you look into the world, you are interested in the world, you are in the mind. Till you are mind-body complex, you will never know it. If you see Bhagavan, first time when he wrote on sand with a stick, he said very, very clearly that until this word is real to you, you cannot realize God. He was so clear, so blunt about it. So just stay in that impartial awareness. try to practice all the time to stay in that impartial awareness. And it is easiest for a family person, who's living in this world rather than in a cave. Otherwise, in a cave, you will not know, are you still in that awareness? Here, there are people around you, job, friends, enemies, whatever it is, situations. Every moment it checks you whether you are in a person mode or you are in awareness mode. And you have to just keep paying attention. Here, no one is judging you. No one in this world will care about what we are talking. Actually, for most of the people, you will be useless once you get out of their clutch from the Maya. Then no one can emotionally blackmail you. You are out of the grip of everything. In a way, you become useless. So no one is interested in your freedom. No one. You just watch as things are unfolding in a very neutral atmosphere all the time. And believe me, all the things which happens around us, we always take it from the person. And that is the problem. But when you only pay attention and remember all the time that you are this uninvolved awareness, then how does it matter whether you are at loss or in profit for anything? When I say you, means this body-mind. When the body-mind is not you, then you're always free. It is actual real freedom. It is so easy, it is so straightforward, it is so simple that people miss it all the time. And the good thing is you don't have to do anything to be free. Just don't do anything. Even things are happening, don't think that there is a doer who is doing it. Before the doership comes, there is a thought which comes as, I have to do because I will lose this money, or I will lose fame, or someone will insult me, or I need some praise. This is what the ego is, isn't it? Putting itself as the most important thing. Even sometimes it wants to show itself very low. That I am very humble, I have to gain people's respect. I will take this thing at the end. Look how much sacrifice I am doing. That is a bigger trap. All these games which the ego plays, we have to just watch. And you don't have to tell your neighbor or your partner or anyone, look, these games are happening inside me. The person will think he's mad. He's completely mad now. Because everyone is playing those games and they're serious about these games. They play inside them. They mean it. When they insult someone, they mean it. They're not playing game. But you know that it is a game. And you have to get out of this game. Just stay neutral, and whatever is happening within you, just keep watching it. Don't judge it. And don't get involved in it. And because you're not getting involved in that egoistic talk, it drops, it leaves, it starts disappearing. Whole day you are in bliss. The bliss which you get when you get $1 million lottery and you feel, that aha factor is there all the time, because whatever it is, it is. Even you don't bother what the mind is saying or doing or thinking or commenting. It is not the people who try to cause suffering to us. It is our own mind which causes suffering to us. And that suffering, there is a reason for that suffering. Whenever you are after pleasure, you will get pain. And we have used this mind to seek pleasures in life, comforts in life, things in life, people in life. And the after effect is pain, because nothing is permanent. Things are changing. For things which we are running for, they disappear or they leave, and then we feel sorrow. But why we need to do all this when we are uninvolved, when we are not even this body mind? Only thing which can give you eternal peace is which is unchanging. I will 100% agree with you if you run for something in this world which is unchanging. Only unchanging thing can give you bliss and peace. Unchanging thing will give you fearlessness, happiness. Go for unchanging. Look what is unchanging around you. Stick to unchanging. And you will notice that only unchanging thing is you. Everything what you see around you is changing. Only you are unchanging. If you really want to be free, then stay in this unchanging awareness. Even things in which you are not a doer causes you suffering, in which intentionally you are not a doer, just because of mind, because you're involved in mind game. See your dreams. Some of the dreams can be nightmares. In dreams, sometimes you can be very scared, and then when the dream breaks, you are more peaceful. What mind is giving you except sorrow? And sometimes momentary happiness, which comes only when the mind settles in yourself, in you. Actually, we have fooled ourselves. We are the source of bliss and peace, and we are dependent on mind to give us bliss and peace. Like we are king and we are acting like a beggar and asking a crooked person to help us who will never help us, who has no authority to help us. There is no issue with seeking happiness, but we are seeking happiness in a wrong direction, and we are asking a wrong person. If you want happiness, that is the aim of each and every human being. But nobody tells us that happiness is within our heart. Don't run for things. Sit with this awareness, and that happiness will be your experiential knowledge forever. Nobody tells us. At least there should be one subject on how to get eternal happiness in school. From prep up to year 12, I think every day there should be just one class, maybe 10 minutes class, just to reminders, Nobody tells. I don't know why. No school tells, no parents tell. No, religion tells you. Religion will tell you that do this, otherwise you will go to hell. They scare you. You come to us, otherwise you will go to hell. We will take you there to heaven. We have the ticket to heaven. But why you have to go to heaven or hell when the paradise is within you? Isn't it so funny? Like, billions of people live in this world, but structured, there is no information about this. In these times of Google and so much information going around, nobody talks. Nobody, like when we catch up with friends, we talk all nonsense except this. Have you realized yourself? Do you have friends with whom you can talk like this? And how far are you? And what are the issues? Can I help you? Nobody talks. Nobody even go to that side. They can talk every nonsense in this world.
That's because there are 4 aims of life: money, fame, name, and I am the greatest. That feeling. So nobody here there is, you become a no one that they're scared of.
Anyway, but I'll tell you, in some religions, they don't believe in afterbirth or rebirth. Here, I would say that if you stay as awareness, you will be in eternal, not call it eternal, but maybe happiness till this body is. But the truth of the matter is that when your desires are left unfulfilled and attachments, you keep rotating in birth and death cycle. It's never ending. So staying as awareness is not helping you only in this life. It is sorting out you forever. Eternally. You transcend this space-time manifestation. Body, mind, intellect, complex is part of this space-time dimension. Awareness is not part of it. That's why you can't touch awareness, because you're using mind, you're using body, you're using intellect. These tools are useless to know yourself. You have to leave these tools to know yourself. These insentient tools are good for this insentient world. But when you talk about Brahman, your pure self, then you have to de-identify yourself with all this. So from now onwards, if you want to be free, then don't do anything. Like, don't do means like don't create an intention that you are a doer. Things will still happen, maybe more. Sometimes people get more busier than when they were working as a doer. Like Bhagavan, you think he did anything, but he did so much of stuff without doing anything. Without doership, so much of things have happened. So many people are getting free. So many people are abiding in self. He has no intention to be a doer. People with egoistic minds might still think that Bhagavan came to free all these beings. Yes, that is the purest of pure. But I don't think he has intention to free these people or do, and he came with as missionary zeal. Nothing. But because he is pure, it is happening. It's not
That's
that.
a side effect.
Sorry?
That's a side effect.
Yeah, that's a good side effect, I should say. Yeah, he's not. So any saint or a teacher has no intention to do this good, or just it happens because of that goodness of that awareness. So there is no doership in anyone, even not for a good stuff. It just happens. There is unending list of benefits of knowing yourself. Unending list. Some better not to speak now, but when you know, you know. This is such a beautiful thing. There is not one single example of a person who has realized self and then was repenting and wants to go back into the person mode, who wants ego back, ahankar back, I amness back. Not even one single person. If you have come across someone, let me know. I have never heard there's someone who realized self and then was crying for help. That what a stupid discovery. I'll tell you, this is the most beautiful thing if you do it before your last breath. And why to wait till last breath? Finish it now so you know in this body-mind complex what it is. Even you don't speak to anyone, the radiant energy of that awareness will just change everything. It is so powerful. This is also not just good for you, but it is good for all humanity. And there is no list, there is no quota, like these number of visas will be issued, per year. Anyone, all of us can be there at this moment. More the merrier, Then you have people in presence mode with whom, even if you don't talk, you can just share that love. You can share with others also who are in ego mode, but they will not understand you fully or completely. A Jnani can know Jnani because there is no filter there. And this is real freedom. Freedom from your mind. Freedom from the slavery of your mind. Now there is a role reversal. Previously you were dependent on your mind. Now mind is dependent on you. You are on that position where you have to be as an uninvolved awareness, and you're watching the show. You are in the best seat in the house, where you have taken up your position is completely uninvolved, detached, completely naked. No ornaments of intellect, mind, body. People nowadays talk about minimalistic life. This is minimalist. When you don't even have your mind, your intellect, your body. This is minimalist. Nothing. Purely naked. And still you can have everything. But you will be empty. One connection goes and everything gets sorted out completely. People have very wrong concept that escapists go to spirituality, lazy people become spiritual people. Or people who are scared of this word are spiritual. People who know there is no value here become spiritual. People who are jigyasu, who are inquisitive, becomes spiritual. People become spiritual only because of grace, grace of the absolute. Otherwise, why we are not hearing about it? And so, not with any proud, but with humbleness, accept that grace and use this opportunity to take this opportunity to go deeper and deeper and deeper. Don't stop. Don't give up practice. Whatever beautiful experiences or siddhis or whatever happens to you, I don't know. But don't stop there till you are firmly established, where it becomes your natural state. Don't move. Don't do anything. If you want to be a doer, doer only to know awareness. Rest all will continue happening. You know, if you go to an astrologer or a guy who knows palmistry, he might tell you everything about how your life will unfold, and he might be correct. But this shortcut which you have taken to transcend this whole drama, he can't tell. But you can do. That is not written on your hand. That is in your heart. That longing comes from heart. This does not follow law of karma. This transcendence happens only when you have longing for it, intense longing. And that intense longing shows you the path. And intense longing is because of grace. Because of grace is working for you, it will show you a path, whatever is conducive to you, and you will be completely, fully abiding in your own self. There is no doubt about it. It has to happen, and it will happen. So in a way, you can feel happy about it, that it is happening to you. Some people say that they are the chosen ones, or all those things, but that can create again egoistic mind. So rather than delving more into it, just keep practicing. Be full of gratitude and be thankful for your own stars, and pay attention to the awareness. That is the truth. That is reality. We start morning and we go to work, and then we catch up with family, and then we sleep, and we have bodily issues or mental issues or whatever is happening. Let everything keep happening, whatever it is happening, without any complaint, without judging. But you stay detached within you. You don't have to tell others, I'm detached, don't tell me this thing. No, let everything unfold the way it is unfolding. But within, you stay in your pure awareness. Again, as Neelakantanji said, till you sleep or till you're dead. Okay, thank you everyone.
Awesome, Sanjay. Thank you. Good night, Sanjay.
Thanks so much, Sanjay.
Thank you. I think